Welcome to the Liquid Late Nights podcast. Man, it's hot out there. It's so hot. It's real hot. It's hot in the streets. How y'all doing?
It's hot so much everybody's shooting each other every day. But that's all other thing.
Gee.
Not the summer of Sam. What you doing? Calm down.
Oh,
Didn't man just say the summer of Sam? Yeah. All right. Where we at, gentlemen? I saw something. Listen, I have to admit this, okay? For a long period of time, I had this, I don't know, some kind of a bias to Dave Chappelle. I don't know what it was. I just never had listen. I don't know. I was just
okay.
apologizing to Dave Chappelle because he's something. He's a special, comedian.
He's a
So
unique
anyway,
comedian.
yeah. So I was browsing somewhere and we ran up on his award show for Dave Chappelle. And I saw it and I watched. Let's watch this. It was very, very good. It was at the Kennedy Center. He won the Mark Twain Award, which they was killing about that because you know what Mark Twain would have called him. And
Yeah.
it's like, but it was they showed his work from when he was young. Because I remember he was he was Reggie and another professor a long time ago, as a young person, which I didn't realize that he really started off as a teenager or a preteen. Because his mother was there. He was saying like his mother used to take him to do his stand-up and drive him home and stuff. You know what I mean? It's good. And they showed different clips of people who talk about what he did for them, how he promoted them. His wife was there, his kids was there, but it was something to see. And the man, like Guy was saying, and I agree with him. His humor, he has it's a political humor, but the way he delivered it is just it reminds you of old time guys like Lenny Bruce or guys like that who was comedians, but they spoke to social consciousness, and I'm a big fan now. I've been for like a couple of years now, but I'm saying after seeing this the other night, I said, "Well, this is incredible." What he does, and because he called everybody out. They talked about when he left. Was at the comedy show? What's the show he left and he turned down the $50 million
Chappelle
deal?
show.
Chappelle
Yeah.
his own show.
And he walked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
He was saying everybody
Walked away
50
from 50
million.
million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's made way more than that since then. But
Oh, yeah.
but the deal that he said, well, they put him in a position. He just said, you know what? Hey, I can't say the words he said, but he walked, and I found it just incredible. That's why.
Well, he made a great statement doing that. He really did. I mean, it's one of those things when you go back and you look at, just like when new artists come about, you make a deal, you look at a deal, you think the deal is good, you hungry enough for the deal.
It
but
was
then when you
good at the time, yeah.
Yeah, it was good at the time. But when you become, the number one person on that channel, and you kind of made that channel, and people still reference the Chappelle show to this day. I mean, a lot of artists came out of that too. I mean, you got Ashley Larry, you got, Donnell Jones. I mean,
Somebody named Ashley Larry.
that's in the show, Ashley Larry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was some iconic stuff. Even when Charlie Murphy was on it, when Charlie Murphy was on the Chappelle show, and they did all the Hollywood with Charlie Murphy, and even talk about his own brother Eddie and Rick James. I mean, that's where all that stuff was part of culture, and it still is. I mean, people still use those.
They was doing all of his stuff. They so many clips. It was probably a 2-hour show. It was. If you get
this is the Mark Twain Awards from like a couple years ago, right?
I don't know when it was. It
was 2019. 2019. I think it aired on PBS like in 2020 because I remember the buzz around it back in a few
so it was
years
probably
ago,
cut, but this was uncut.
Yeah. Okay, it's probably uncut. Okay,
it was on Netflix. Netflix buys everything, dude. This was Netflix, and it was everything.
Oh.
It was very, very well done, and I said, man, I like that. Because nobody gets a break, and he'd say, hey, after you can't take a joke.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
everybody's so super sensitive. But the guy was saying his intellect is so high that people don't realize how intelligent the man is. And then he delivers this stuff, you know what I mean? I was blown away.
And then he goes back to his compound in middle America.
Yeah. Yeah. With his wife is like Vietnamese or she's beautiful. What is it? And his kids and stuff. He had his 2 sons there and his daughter. It was and his mother. And he was saying, my mother's, I can't say what he said. He said, when you're like 12, 13 years old, your mother take you to do your stand up to come and she drive you home and she's scolding you about, say, that's enough of the pee joke. Get a little easy on the pee jokes. It was insane. It was excellent.
Good.
I'm sorry I got to it late, but people that you don't know Dave Chappelle, you should. His stuff is. I mean,
Well,
if you
that's the beauty of having all this content anyway. I mean, you may have missed it 4 or 5 years ago, but you watch it now, it still energizes you and bring you back. And again, what you just mentioned it now, like, I got to add that to my list again. I got to go back to that because I'm a Dave Chappelle fan. I've been a Dave Chappelle fan since The Nutty Professor when he had the cameo in that, which I
he was
thought was
Reggie.
excellent.
He was Reggie.
Which I thought was
It was
excellent.
funny,
And see,
dude.
now that I'm thinking about it, now I need to add Nutty Professor back to my list because that was that was a really good
The first Nutty
for what
Professor
it was.
was
Yeah,
insane. Yeah.
yeah. But then
They
you
milked
go,
it to.
yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and then you go into some of these other movies he did, like Dazed and Confused, and a couple of them. Like,
Yeah.
but then they all led up to his growth, with the Comedy Central stuff, and then all the stuff he did for Netflix. I mean, that stuff he did for Netflix, that was game changer for him. I mean, every one of his specials he did on Netflix, they were all excellent. And the way he brought that back, even when he was being attacked for the transgender stuff and all this other stuff, and the way he brought
if
it
you
back,
listen to it,
yeah.
he didn't say anything wrong. He
Nope,
told the
not
truth.
at all. Not at all. Not at all. So, I mean, he's just putting it out there. He's saying what y'all probably thinking anyway. All y'all out there. He's probably saying what y'all thinking.
He was
that y'all
everybody was
just
too super. Everybody too super sensitive.
Yeah,
and he said, because I watched that show. He said, like, in the alphabet people, all of a sudden they just so super. They mad at everybody.
Well, it's funny
said,
because you know how everyone's afraid that people are going to bring up stuff that they said in their past, if it was recorded, things like that. So recently I've been watching a whole bunch of, shows I'm catching up on that I didn't get to watch 10, 15, 20 years ago. So I'm watching this show from like 2013, and the way the language that was being presented back then, even for the LGBTQ plus community back then, you can't say any of that now. You can't go back and watch Martin. You can't go back and watch the Jeffersons. You can't go back and watch. I mean, you can go back and watch it, but all of those shows will be canceled now. Because we're all super sensitive. We really are. And I think it's going to continue. People like Dave Chappelle standing on that platform and still being true to himself is great. He's not worried about being canceled. You think he's worried about being
canceled? He don't give a rat's, dude.
He don't. He really does not. But look at all the people being canceled. Some come back. I mean, you'll get somebody who come back, they just trickle back in. But back to that.
So some people have better lobby than scream louder.
Yeah.
That don't mean you have that. I was talking to George about that. So listen, it's not that it's some small group that scream louder. It don't mean they right, don't mean anything. People just let them scream. Because people just to touch that for a second, when people always talk about the young people with the transgender and all this kind of stuff, that's just that's a minuscule amount of people in the total population of the country. It's a small group of people, but everybody's screaming all this is a major issue. You know what I mean? And it's not.
Right.
So anyway,
I'm at the point, and not to take this into this particular direction. Go ahead.
Just to be clear, sometimes a small group needs to yell because really bigger groups are saying some shit to them. I'm just going to put that out there for that.
I'm good with
that.
So
let's be clear. Sometimes the bad guys are really out there.
So sometimes they yelled and shut up. Don't continue to yell. So can you go, Gene? Please.
Try me one more time. One more time.
No, I'm just saying.
I feel some tension here.
No, they can yell, but sometimes it goes overboard, which I think.
Here's my take.
I don't know what horrible means.
I don't care what you do in your house. I don't care what you do in your own time. So let these people do what they want to do.
Exactly.
I mean, what's it to you? What's it to you?
But you're not the one yelling at them.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm telling everybody else, let the people live their life.
I had an opportunity a few weeks ago to watch a nice movie. We're not the movies yet, but I kind of like, if you guys haven't seen it, I'm just going to throw it out there. We don't have to talk much about it because nobody's seen it yet. But I watched Oppenheimer and I thought it was just a good story. It was a well-told
we all
story.
know the history of it, but I have not seen the movie yet, and I do want to see it. I see it was streaming on Amazon Prime Video today, so that is on my list. It's just that
it's long, so you need to set aside 3 hours.
Yeah, so I got a couple of plane rides coming up. So
I put it this way: it's well done enough that the time goes by.
Okay,
you're not looking at your watch or looking at your partner and saying, "Why are you making me watch this?" But you know what I mean? Just it's good.
But I think being able to watch it, I mean, I would have loved to see it on the big screen for all the visual effects and stuff, but I think watching a movie like that in the comfort of my own home would probably be better for me right now anyway.
There's not a lot of visual. It's a dialogue movie, which is what I liked about it. There's not a lot of visual except for the bum blowing up, but other than that, it's just talk. It's just a good dialogue. Excellent done dialogue.
Okay.
Anyway.
On the list.
So do I need to watch it and then watch Barbie, or do I need to watch Barbie and then watch Oppenheimer?
I watched Barbie a couple times. I had to. Okay. I didn't have a choice in my household.
Wow.
It was decent though.
I heard it's good. I'm just asking the question: which order do I need to go?
I haven't seen Barbie. I may just watch just for Margot. Anyway, that's good.
You should. Go ahead. Just watch.
No, I'm not gonna be seeing it.
It's actually pretty good. I give it.
Do it.
Hey, you might get some brownie points with your neighbor friend over there.
I doubt it. But anyway, I get some brownie points with Sid because he's a Mattel guy, so they got Barbie. Yeah, we presented Barbie. I said, I know, but I ain't seen it yet. Anyway,
talk to me about the Ray J comics. I know, CD. I know you put that. You guys.
No, I didn't put that there. That's I saw it. I read it. I listened to it.
Listen, they were doing because Negro Leagues just got all their stats got put into Major League Baseball. They just get ready to do the. They just did the.
But thanks for Willie Mays. They were talking about Willie Mays.
For slaves, but then also they're just there's a celebration part in place, and they interviewed Reggie before the game because they were doing at the oldest ballpark, like professional league ballpark in America still, and this is on the National Register. Negro League games played there for years, and he came out and said that after the color barrier was broken, it still wasn't all fun and games as a black man playing in the major league sports. And he used the words that they called him.
And he gave examples of places and cities he was in. It was good. He just told the truth. He told it. And the two guys were sitting with him, they were like stunned, but but
they let him talk though.
They couldn't stop. He's Reggie Jackson. They can't
Fox
stop
One.
him.
What you gonna do?
You can't stop Reggie Jackson. But all he told was the truth. He said they went to places and he couldn't stay at the hotel. Yeah. He went to places he couldn't eat at certain restaurants. And now he also said his teammates and people that they said if he can't stay, we're not staying either. You know what I mean? But he still just told the truth. He said they stayed at a friend of a friend's house and they wanted to burn that guy's house down for letting Reggie stay in the house.
Wow.
He said, so I can't just stand here and do this. And he was saying like the guy said that, well, Reggie, did that make you a better man by all that? Reggie said, hell no. He's like, really? That's a cop-out saying I'm a better person for that. No, you're not. You're mad because he said, no, I'm not. What do you mean I'm a better person? This person thought I was less of a person. I wasn't even a person. Reggie, but he's always been that way. He's almost 80 years old now. So what he need to apologize to anybody for? He's Reggie Jackson. Anyway, I thought it was. But I watched the video. I saw those guys. They were thinking in their seat, but Reggie was. It was good though.
Hey, you live. You can't. Where are you gonna go? Okay.
But he didn't say. But what he said was clear. He wasn't angry about nobody. He just told his experience.
Yeah.
Now, if people don't want to hear it, don't want you pretend it didn't happen, which is what people do.
Different places, sure.
But then the trauma is still with him. He said, the trauma is still with me. Anyway.
Yeah. So
not 100 years ago.
Yep. Continue it. Speaking of not 100 years, we just had a recent passing of the Say Hey Kid, Mr. Willie Mays.
Listen, when the best who ever did it, depending on who you ask, he's either number one or he's number two. And the conversation between him and Babe Ruth. And depending on if he had to play the years he had to go in the Army, he probably would be considered number one. 24 All-Star games, 13 Golden Gloves? Like, great percentage all through his game, just the best that did. And they were just getting ready to come down to, because where that celebration was just hometown. You're going to honor him there. So when he died, like right before that, that's also kind of put a pale on that. But just
it.
The Giants, like the best Giants who ever played, San Francisco Giants, and they had to announce that over the loud, during the broadcast, and the guy was breaking down.
But he was with them before they moved to San Francisco when they was in New York.
Yeah. But
and before that, he played with the Birmingham Black Baron. I think it was one of the Negro League teams. So because the guy was born in 1931 in Alabama, Westfield, Alabama. But the things that he did, man, it's like I never follow a lot of baseball, but I just always know about Willie Mays. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't realize until I was watching a couple of the tributes and stuff how close he was with Barry Bonds. I was like, all right, I didn't know that he was Barry Bonds' godfather, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cool. The lifelong relationship they had together. I thought that was pretty cool, actually. I follow that. 93 years old, my man.
Passed in Palo Alto, California.
Palo Alto. Everybody goes to Sunset in California.
Man, hey, trust me. Can't say I blame him.
Speaking of California, about them Lakers, man. What's the news on the Lakers front? Because as you know, Celtics are the world champions. So what moves are the Lakers making right now? Because
okay, let me say this first.
It's like the
Go on, say what you.
I just want to hype. I just want to hype him up. Listen. If they don't introduce him on the first game as J Redick, I don't want it. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. I'm a fan.
Wait, what? Oh, you're a fan of JJ Redick, or you're a fan of the Lakers, or you're a fan of basketball?
I'm a fan of JJ Redick.
Okay, so you're just gonna watch the opening season just to see them say JJ Redick's name.
No,
but then
first
after
game.
that, you're not gonna watch the whole thing.
I'm busy.
You're busy. Now
okay,
he's busy.
let me just say
he's busy.
Let me say this first. I congratulate the Boston Celtics, the two Jays, Jason and Jalen. They're some bad boy.
I got a question about that game too.
What, the whole series?
Did that game 4? Did they
throw it?
Yeah, so they could come home and win?
No.
I just had a question.
They wouldn't do that. No, you got to be out of your mind. What happened was Dallas had to say something. They had energy. Those guys relaxed for a second. Before they knew it, they was getting slapped upside the head and they couldn't recover. I watched that whole game.
That was more than getting slapped beside the head.
But that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Now, I like Porzingis, always did. I thought he got a raw deal in New York when the Knicks drafted him. The Knicks were stupid. They should have. They were just the Knicks fans was out of their mind. Anyway, so I like him. I was happy for him. So good Boston. I'm a Laker. I'm good with that. Now Paul Pierce is another story. Okay, so he's just still mad, because he's from LA and the people there don't like him, and he's just mad. Anyway, now back to this. No, seriously.
No.
I was going to say this. So, because, I know that Phil had 2 runs with the Lakers, but between the Phils, I don't think anyone's lasted more than 2 or 3 years.
Okay,
I mean,
and?
The issue? What's the issue? I'm asking you, what's the issue?
What are you talking about? Coaches?
Yeah, I'm talking about the coaches.
Well, I'm not dealing with it like that. I'm just, asked me, we Celtics had a title. I'm good with that. Okay, now.
So so if I know from history, they're the winningest team now, right?
We were tied at 17. Now they have 18. We have 17.
All right.
Now, in the modern era,
yes.
In the modern era, we're the winningest.
Why?
They won all their titles in the 60s.
Who is this we?
Lakers.
Okay.
They won most of their titles. Bill Russell won 11 titles. It was all in the 60s. Okay. After that, Larry Bird won 3 in the 80s. After that, there's only one other title before. That was Paul Pierce in 08 and this one now. Magic won 5. Kobe won 5. And LeBron got 1. That's 11-3. My math is pretty good. So the modern era, we still the better team.
This man came with his stats. He had his stats ready.
The modern era, we still the better deal.
This man said that. So we're only counting from what year to what year?
No. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. In the Converse era, the Chuck Taylor era, where they were winning, right?
The Chuck Taylor era.
Everybody's who in the Air Jordans and Currys and all the stuff like that.
I like that.
We're the ones, okay? Now, JJ Redick, you got to give a guy. As long as they put together a good staff, and I'm open to it. You need
and LeBron is still there.
You need some. Well, LeBron's 100, so you need some fresh new ideas. So LeBron's not gonna be around another year or so, but they setting it up for a younger person because you got to compete. You got to look at what's going on. I mean, Joe Mazzulla is 35, the coach of the Celtics. He just won. A guy that young hasn't won since Bill Russell running as a player coach.
And what JJ is like 40, right?
Just turned 40 today. His birthday today.
Oh, it's today. Oh, yeah, JJ is 40. There you go. Head coach
So-
of the Lakers at the age of 40. Boy,
Wait, hey, that's
LA.
a dream job. He's
That's
got
what I'm
like a 4-year
saying.
deal, $8 million a year, something like that. Now he's got to move his family I don't know if he's going to move his family because he lives in the New England area. So he's probably going to move. They got young
They'll
kids.
keep the house. They'll just come over there.
But yeah, he's got young kids, so he got to be with their dad. So his wife and his kids. But they'll put together stuff. Now, I heard there's people they talk about trying to get Rajon Rondo, which I think would be a great idea. Rajon, yes.
I like
Rajon-
Rondo and all, but
Rondo's
hasn't it
he's a
where's he
great
at now?
basketball mind. I don't know where he is, but he's a good basketball mind. He's smart. Everybody will tell you Rajon is a smart man. Matter of fact, the Celtics don't win that title with the guys they had in the 80s. They didn't have Rajon. Because Rajon even though he was young at the time, he was the general of that team. You just had KG out there screaming and they had Ray Allen, but the guy who was running the point was Rajon. Anyway, so we'll be fine. We're the Lakers. We'll be relevant next year.
All right.
But the West is so competitive that hey, but everybody think I'm freaking out. I'm still getting all kinds of stuff from all my nephews who are Boston fans and stuff like that. I'm taking a beating. That's okay.
Well, it's you know what?
That's okay.
Look, the way it was, you had in the finals, you had a team that was going to dominate. I mean, I didn't think they had a chance. I thought Boston would take it all the way. They just played fresh. They let one get away from them because they just had to. They was like, okay,
they relaxed.
We're tired, but we got this. We got this in the bag. It could have been a sweep, but it wasn't. So it's all good, right? It's all good. So taking the sports off the court and let's say back into the restaurants. Y'all hear about this Hooters thing closing all these stores? I mean, first of all, the reason to go to Hooters, in my opinion, was to watch sports.
Watch
and
yourself.
to watch just being for
Well, I never went to
the
Hooters.
eye
The
candy.
internet, the food's no good, and the eye candy is not.
The wings, even at market price, I don't care how you how you put the wings up. They're not great wings. I mean, I like the fries better than the wings, and that's how
they had a Hooters here at Sparkman Wharf when I first moved here to the island. They got rid of that thing. I went there once. I said the food is bad, the beer is warm, and
I wonder if, and there's no offense to anybody if it comes out
Watch
wrong,
it.
I just wonder if the quality of the staff went down. I don't know.
Geez. Okay.
Depends on where you are. I mean,
All right. Stuff
I don't
I've
need
seen.
that kind of, I'm too old, so I don't need that kind of stuff at all.
Once I see that stuff, it's the same pressure as all these fast casual or just step above casual things are getting. Rising food costs, those market price wings, labor costs. Like you can't, even in a tip position, you can't. You're trying to lowball them.
So you can't rob your employees. You gotta pay them. Really?
You gotta pay them. I know it's crazy.
Welcome to America.
Because
they closed about 40 this time, underperforming locations across the country, which is a big chunk. They still got 300 globally, but they're down 12% since 2018 in terms of numbers. Like they're closing. If those locations
so they're reducing the fat.
Yeah, they're trying to keep it lean as fast as they can.
I was listening to. Oh no.
I was gonna say, so in Central Florida, you can't go to Red Lobster, you can't go to Hooters. I mean, what else they gonna take from you?
You can go.
You can go.
You can go to Sip.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow, for Halloween night. Don't come bombarding that place, man.
Funny, speaking of like the Hooters, so Twin Peaks, which I would concede probably has the better food, is and beating them in a lot of those categories is putting locations as fast as they can near all those Hooters locations. And now people are like, "Oh, wait a minute! I can go see lovely ladies if I want, and I get a better product." So you're going to see pressures from that. But that's the same with all these people. Like, why are you going to go to an Applebee's or TGI Fridays or Red Lobster if you can either get something at a better place or you don't want to spend that money, so you do it at home?
Some of these locations that were closed
what was that?
Are bad. They're cutting the fat. That's what I said.
Well, so think about it. Gainesville, in the middle of nowhere. Lakeland, middle of nowhere.
That was some.
What? Go ahead.
No,
West Palm Beach.
You put it in.
That was
the
one in Lakeland. At the middle of nowhere, dude.
Yeah.
No, that one's open. That's not the one that closed.
One's still open.
That
you got
busy.
West Palm Beach. You just don't have the demographics for the one in West Palm Beach. They ain't looking for that.
The original one in Clearwater is still open, right?
Yeah, somehow. Yeah, but because I think
Clearwater, the original, is closed.
Really?
No. I take that back. I take that back.
I drove by that today. That
one's still open. That one is still open. I take that back. That one is still open. So
I don't think that's owned by the company. I think the original founders took that one back. I feel like I heard that from years ago. I don't know. I'm just saying it just seems, it is all about demographics, it's all about who can support it. And then putting in places where people are going to want to spend money and get that kind of stuff. But there's all those kind of places, where you want to spend your fast casual money at. And that's going to be the question.
That's what they call it, fast casual?
Yeah, it's fast casual. Which what we talked about in one of our earlier episodes is that Red Lobster should have become a fast casual. They would have done a lot better becoming a fast casual.
Yeah.
And
if you want a sports bar.
Not like a Long John Silver's fast casual.
I just almost threw up when you said that.
But I mean, if you want a sports bar, if you want a place where you're going to get some food and be able to watch some games and stuff, there's other options that might be better. Ale House, Buffalo Wild Wings.
But Buffalo Wild Wings is just, never mind. I won't say it all out.
You just said other options. I'm not trying to grade them on whether or not they're better or worse. I'm just saying there's other options. Any
you mean other option as far as fast casual, or other options as far as a restaurant?
No, I was saying for sports bars.
If you go restaurant,
if you go restaurants, I don't need any of that.
See, I don't need any. Never mind. That's for 18 to 30-year-old. Okay, fine.
Yeah, but the only people who can afford it now are the 55 and up.
Yeah,
well, that's desperation. Anyway, I'm listening to CNBC today. They was talking about the rise of minimum wage in the state of California, the so-called fast casual restaurants who closing down because basically they don't want to pay the employees. So I have mixed feelings on all of this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's a profit bottom line. So you get people to work for nothing, or people who are just borderline their mental acuities, and it's a lot there. That's all I'm saying. And I don't know. Next sucker.
Welcome to our post-capitalist utopia.
Oh gosh. Yeah, we become a dictatorship if y'all let the other guy get in. Never mind. Go on.
Speaking of,
no.